Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm super excited to be with you here this morning. Today, we're going to talk about mortgage marketing ideas. Now, this is especially important right now because the opportunity is growing for loan officers. However, like I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's the numbers are showing us that it's more of the same people that are getting more of the business. So incomes are going up. And part of that is that as a broad scope, most people that become loan officers, they do focus on passing the NMLS exam and this and that, but none of them have a marketing campaign or marketing idea. And I mean, most do not. And that's something that I talk to people when I haven't been to a school before Artricia passed away. I used to go to her, she used to invite me to her school from time to time to speak to them. And I was asked them, raise your hand if you're studying for the NMLS exam. Everybody would raise their hand, and raise your hand if you have a marketing plan in place to make sure you can leverage your license. And nobody would raise their hand. And that's something we forget about and we pay the price. So much business to be had, but only if you understand how to get it, and you have to do your part to do so. You know, mortgages is kind of like real estate. Everybody wants that 100% contract, which we give you basically. And the downside of that, of course, is that you're expected to do everything yourself. If you go become a real estate agent and you go to a broker, they might say, we'll start at 70% or 80%. They keep 20%. If you go and tell them, no, I want 100%, they'll say, okay, here's your 100%. Now go perform. Oh, but I want training. I want support. Well, so do I. And it's very difficult. Here with us, we give you that big contract and we give you the support. Now the question is, do you have the will to implement this stuff? And so again, this is the mortgage marketing ideas that I wanted to share with you, especially as we go into the fall, that you have to be months ahead when it comes to preparing for your production and income. A couple of first things first, I'm not going to be here. The doctor gave me my clearance to fly and travel. And so it didn't take me long to get on a plane. We're going to go Tuesday. We're going to be in Guadalajara, Mexico. We're going to the land of mariachis and tequila, I guess, but I've never been there. So, you know, anybody been there, pointers would be grateful. But I'm going to be there as of this coming Tuesday. So, you know, just so you know, I will be available via text, phone, and email, because obviously I'm going to go ahead and have my phone with me. My Verizon travel plan follows me literally everywhere. So if you need me, just give me a call. Also, just so you know, Now Site, which is the actual platform we use for marketing, very important that everybody here. Oh, okay. Earl says loves it. Outstanding. Pointers would be appreciated. Now Site, I pay $444 for the year is what I pay for mine. They're having a special between now and the end of the month. If you get this before August 31st, it's $20 a month, which is incredible. Or $220. I would recommend just go with the $220 for the year and lock in the pricing for a year. Versus the $444, which is what I paid, and many of us paid as well. But that's only until the end of the month. And that includes a 60-minute web design consultation with a pro. And a place that you go to for that to receive that pricing, nowsite.us, nowsite.us. We have 2 new templates of websites coming out in September to help you generate more business. And I'm going to show you part of that right now. But again, if you don't have an outside, my recommendation is get it. It's you have to have a presence, omnipresent type of presence. If you would, you got to be everywhere at the same time. And it's impossible to do it if you want to piece it together like so many people do. Just automate it as much as you can, and you'll have a fighting chance at success. So we're going to talk about some ideas for you this coming fall. We're going to move at a pretty brisk pace because we got to bring Mr. Rhett Stafford on board as well. And so anyways, so idea number 1 is to find a niche, is what we call it. A niche. Anybody, what's a niche in the mortgage world? What's your niche if you have one?
Could be VA loans, or you specialize in USDA loans, something like that.
Perfect. And here's the secret. One of the secrets, if you would, like, I am the expert. And they always say, if you want to be an expert at something, focus on one thing. And I do agree with that. The way that I do it, I focus on one thing per channel, meaning if you would ask me, you know, what are you the expert at? My question to you is, well, what do you do for a living? Because, oh, well, I'm a cop. Well, I'm an expert in helping law enforcement personnel maximize their home ownership experience. Oh, really? Yes. Oh, actually, I'm a teacher. Well, guess what? I'm an expert at helping educators maximize their home ownership. I am everything to everybody, but they don't have to know that. That's the whole purpose of marketing. The element of marketing is that literally to make them feel that they are the center of the universe, but you have a bunch of centers over all kinds of universes. That's the beauty of marketing. That's the beauty of having a now site. I have a now site where my websites, they go after teachers because I'm the expert and I focus on teachers. I'm also the expert and I focus on police officers. I'm the expert and I focus on, and so you get it. So you can have as many of these bad boys as you want. Because the question that I ask people is, well, how much time did you spend last week marketing your business? Now, I don't care if you tell me you're a single niche type of loan officer. Okay, great. How much time did you spend actively working on it last week? And for most people, the answer is not a whole lot. And when I ask you, how much time do you have a week to focus on growing your business and your income? How many hours do you have a week? Anybody? How many? Anybody? No hours. Anybody? Where it's like, damn, somebody say something.
I'm doing about 10 to 15 right now. Sorry.
Okay,
guys.
that's what I'm saying. There's no wrong number. By the way, there's zero. You know what we're going to do in the first weekend of September, I'm going to give you a calendar that helped maximize. Somebody put a divider has 12, which is outstanding. There's no wrong number. If you tell me you have 1 year a week, 1 hour a week, bless your heart. If you have 50 hours a week, bless your heart. There's no wrong answer. But there is something very wrong with not having an answer, because that just kind of shows you that you're out there floating in space, wondering what the hell's going on, not knowing what to do or why to do it. And so that's a great number. I mean, there's no wrong answer. To me, there are times, for me, it fluctuates, to be honest with you, because I like to do this in what I call a run. I'm going to go a run after cops, a run after first-time homeowners, a run that I'm going to go and focus on it. Like this coming week, I'm going to be out of the country. I'm not looking to be very productive, to be honest with you. So I call it what it is. So I'm not shocked when I didn't generate business, but the week after, I'm back at it. And so that's the beauty of you having multiple niches. You mentioned military people. Absolutely. The veterans are a huge, especially if you're in California and you're not well-versed, at least well-versed in the VA program. And I'm talking about taking a 10-minute course, not a 10-hour course, 10-minute course on how it works, so that when you walk in and you drop big words like DD-214, honorable discharge, things like that, they relate to you, that you know what the hell you're talking about. If you lack that type of, let's just say, self-confidence, not only will they detect you, because they'll never detect you because you will never approach them. And so that's why you have to work on yourself. First-time homeowners, that's a beautiful one. And because most of you have, or a lot of you have this website that I keep talking about, do you just have multiple of them working all the time? So what other niche does anybody here work? Anybody? Any niche? Anybody? You don't have a niche? Somebody.
I do FSBOs on the real estate side.
Perfect. And that's great. We're talking both, by the way, because 95% of our people are realtors. I want to help you make money. I don't care where you make it, because if you're at least making money on the real estate side, I know we're going to hold on to you longer while you figure out the mortgages. But if you're not making money there, you're not making money here, your days are numbered. So, okay, FSBOs, that's beautiful. FSBOs. Now, what's really even better than having that niche is being able to package it up, meaning that you have at least an image that conveys what you do in a single image that you can use on social media or whatever the case might be. FSBOs, what else? Anybody? That you do, not what you could do. Anybody, what do you do? All right, somebody just said, first-time home buyers with credit issues. Now, the reason that I mentioned working on multiple campaigns and niches at the time, because I know that if I'm working with first-time home buyers with credit issues, I know that it's important to get them in. But at the same time, I know it's going to take me time, which is fine. I'm all for that. We're planting seeds that are going to take 90 days, maybe 6 months for them to turn into a paycheck. And that's fine, because 6 months will come by before you know it. So we want to be able to do that. Anything else? I mean, I hope that you know that when you don't answer, that's part of the problem that you need to work on. Maybe I should focus on something, or like me, arm yourself with enough working knowledge of multiple niches out there that will help you generate business from wherever. So some of the things that, just so you know that I'm talking about, are things like teachers. If I'm talking to a group of teachers, what I'm always telling them as I finish my presentation is always the same. And that is, oh, and by the way, we do have a program just for teachers and their family, that if we represent you on the real estate side and the mortgage side, we will go ahead and pay every single penny of your closing costs, allowing you to get into a home with just your down payment. And if you happen to be a veteran, you don't even need the down payment whatsoever. If I'm talking to teachers, guess what? We have a program just for police officers and their families that if we help, and I mean, now if we represent you only on one side, the real estate side, the mortgage side, then we cut our contribution by half. It's only fair, of course. But the point that I'm making is that you have to be well versed in that. So find a niche. If you don't have one, you're going to have to do that to be successful. Number two is to focus on referrals. Now, focus on referrals is tied to our last point that I'm going to cover in just 1 second. But when we're talking about referrals, referrals cannot be about you. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes. I can't stand it. I can't stand it when somebody comes up to me and says, hey, Javier, I'm with ABC Real Estate. I was wondering if you want to buy or sell a home, or you know anybody that wants to buy. I'm like, who the hell are you? I don't even know these people. I mean, how stupid can you be to come across like that? They are missing marketing 101 the entire way. Referrals and communications should never start with it being about you. Now, it can end up being about you as well, but it has to start with the client. So what are some of the things and so that's why a lot of people don't approach clients. What are some of the things you can approach clients with that doesn't make you sound arrogant or whatever the case might be? Anybody? Anybody? What do you do right now if you do it? I mean, the most important one you could do right now that you should be doing with every single person you have ever sold a house to is call them because you just want to offer them a rate check. I know it's been a while since I sold you that home. I just wanted to see that. I don't want you to overpay unnecessarily when today we have historically low rates, that I want to make sure you're getting the most value for yourself and your family. Something as simple as that, a rate check is what I call it. So I actually have a Calendly link that says it's called just that, a rate check. We just do the rate checks over the phone. Don't need to go in person and so on. You want to be able to use that as well. Somebody uses a home bot. That's pretty cool, especially when you consider that now so much is automated. That's a great way to do it. What else? One of the things that for some of you, and I'm not trying to age you, but for some of you, you're old already, man, to the point that people that you sold the house to, their kids are getting ready to buy houses, for God's sake. I mean, that right there is a great reason to reach out to them. I have a presentation that I reached out to my clients on the college funding workshops. Part of the reason that I do that is because I'm putting them into my database of future clients for other things as well. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, the trademark of a good salesperson, what do you think is a trademark of a good salesperson? And by the way, if you are in mortgages, you're in sales. If you're in real estate, you're in sales. If you're in life insurance, you're in sales. Don't tell me this crap about how you're just a real estate professional. Bull. You're in sales. And what's a good trademark of a salesperson? Anybody?
They listen.
They listen, but what is it that they all do that really allows them to be in that very unique position? Because when somebody asks, if you go to ask my clients about me, they will tell you one thing, and they see me as an advisor, a trusted advisor, not a loan officer, not a realtor, not this, but a trusted advisor. But what's one of the hallmarks of a good salesperson like that? What is it? What do they have a common denominator? Anybody, real quick. All right. Well, one of the most important common denominators that they have is that they bring value to people. They bring value. If you don't feel like you're really bringing value to them, if you feel it starts and it ends with you making money, you're not going to make it here. You're not going to last. Very simple. But the flip side to it is if you're bringing value to people, I bring value to people in everything that I do, whether it be life insurance, whether it be mortgages. I always tell people, look, listen to me. What if you qualified to reduce your mortgage payment and stop sending money unnecessarily to the bank? I don't think your bank needs the money that badly. I think that the $200-300, to be honest with you, is something that could benefit your family more than the bank. Why send it to them when you don't have to? And if you have a husband and wife type of team, and I start my talk, immediately they see what I'm talking about, because I'm telling them, what if you took those $200 that you could save and redirected them towards your child's college fund? I mean, how would that make you feel as a parent? Better than giving it to the bank. How about getting out of debt, paying down some of those credit cards? $200 a month is $2,400 a year. In 2-3 years, you're debt free. Pay down the car, pay down the house. Anything is better than giving it to the bank. And everything I just mentioned revolves around benefiting the client, not me. And that's the truth. So you have to be able to do that. And that will give you a reason to check in on people. Most professionals, most loan officers don't do that. They don't go back. You know how hard it is to get what I call a first generation client? I have to advertise. I have to establish trust. I have to establish credibility. They have to like me. They have to do this. They have to qualify. They have to have the credit. They have to have all this crap only to hopefully become a client. And then, yes, once I close the deal, I go back to that nasty world to try to get another one all over again. Why do that? Now, you might have to do that 3, 4, 5 times while you get your book of business going. But every person that lasts in this business knows the power of referrals. And once you're done with 4 or 5 clients, you should never have to go get some cold client ever again, unless you don't know what you're doing. And that you can change at any time. So request reviews on anniversaries of when they bought their home, send them a thank you card. One of the things that I like to do is bring value to strategic relationships. Now, I don't care what it is, but if I come across a good deal that one of my homeowners, I make it clear, look, I'm not going to get anything from this, but I just want you to talk to this person about an alarm system, about anything that brings value. Let them just hear it out. If they say yes, great. If they say no, yes. But any reason to communicate with your clients is a good reason, just so you know, and you might want to go ahead and do that. Number 3 is one of my favorites, which is to market to realtors. This week, we brought on brand new MLOs. I want to welcome them all if you're here for the very, very first time. But the way I did that was I just simply marketed to realtors electronically. Remember what we talked about? Automation. My system is automated from the companies that send out the email flyers to the realtors. Then they go ahead and click on a link that sends them to my Now site page where they view a video, where they click on a button below that to schedule a Zoom meeting with me. When they schedule the Zoom meeting, automatically the workflow sends them a link with the getting started buttons, whether they're licensed or not. It sends them one link. If they're licensed, they get one link. If they're not licensed, they get another. And it walks them through the entire process automatically. So market to realtors, bring more value to the realtors, cultivate relationships with them. How do you do that as a loan officer? Well, most of you are realtors. What do you want? What do you like from anybody? Well, we'll cover some of those things right now. You can create partnerships, open houses, materials. There's a lot of different things that you can do that if you ever wonder whether it's kosher or not, meaning whether it's legal or not, or within policy, just send a shout out to Rhett and he'll tell you that. What's some of the things you can do for realtors? Anybody? Anybody?
Off from that 360 home tour.
Perfect. Oh my God! Now you're hitting. Now you're on. I mean, if you offer them a free 3, and the reason that I say this is because they don't. I'm trying to see if I have one right here. The reason that I say this is because for most here, let me just get this real quick. The reason that I say this. Now, if you're offering something, first of all, it grabs their attention, a free virtual tour. That if you're not doing virtual tours right now, I just don't know what to tell you. But I don't have my master. I thought I had it here, but I have what I have also. So that's something that you can do. What else can you do for realtors? I mean, we're here to brainstorm. What can you do of value that elevates your stock? Because we all have stock. For some people, you as an MLO, your stock is like Tesla. People want that stock. For other people, stock might be like Blockbuster Video. You know what I mean? Well, people really are not going tremendously crazy about it or wanting it as well. What else? Advice that list among your realtors. What is it?
Offer raffle prizes for the open house, the vacation vouchers.
Pretty cool. The vacation vouchers work like a charm because it draws people in. Now, what's unique about the situation right now, there are more people than there are homes for sale. So, if you just give it as a reason for them showing up, not to come to it, but just for having been there, you're going to promote yourself as well. So absolutely, it's going to help you look that much better in the eyes of the realtor because the realtor is going to look that much better in the eyes of the seller. Absolutely. What else? Anybody else? Steven, I don't want to ban you, but you're banned because I think this is one person other than Steven. He's right, by the way, about everything. What else can you do? Think a little. I'm telling you, if you don't understand the power of working with realtors, you're working way too hard. And in this business, if you work too hard without getting the reward soon enough, you're going to quit. You're going to be like so many people and quit. And I don't want that to happen. But if it happens, it happens. I mean,
Javier, how about offering the Now site advantage for 220? Right now, it's a great idea, I think.
I do, just so you know, I use my Now site to create websites for anybody that I can, just to get my name out there. And I'm getting my name thrown around by people that I do it. I'll give you an example. This one place, she's kind of like a caterer over at my dentist, one of the workers, and she was just telling me how her mom's really the one that, like the super. I've never tried it, but I mean, I've heard about her on social media. She was saying, but she just doesn't know how to get a website going. And I was telling her, give me some basic information. And I literally went home. 20 minutes later, I sent her a link to the Now site. Blown away, blown away. And now I get all kinds of favors from her. Whenever my daughter needed a issue with a dental issue, and they're like, "Well, the next appointment is not till like 20 days from today." And I called this girl and said, "Hey, this is what's going on. My daughter, she's my daughter," and blah blah blah. She was then that same day at 3 p.m. And so what I'm saying is, bring value to people. So yeah, absolutely leverage the heck out of that Now site. You can create landing pages, because remember, most realtors are not well funded. You know, I heard somebody say it best. It's very expensive to look rich when you're poor. And so a lot of these realtors don't have the funding to just throw up a WordPress website or pay a listing website or whatever the case may be for anything. If you're offering stuff like that, you're going to be their best friend. Anybody else before we move on? We're very low on ideas, guys. That's kind of pretty clear.
You also just gave us all those social media prompts for agents as well to share.
Give it to them. I mean, I give it to you for free. I paid for them, but I'm giving it to you for free, so you can give it to other realtors. Can you imagine just calling, "Hey, Stephen, hi, I know you're a realtor. My name is Javier with Radiant Mortgage Bank. The reason I was calling you is because I'm trying to build up my list of contacts, and I wanted to just extend to you a free gift. It's basically a bunch of posts for real estate agents that can help you elevate your profile on social media. It works with Facebook, Instagram, and so on. Nothing, nothing in return. I just wanted to, your permission to send it to you via email. Sure. What's your best email? Send them the email, and they're part of your database. You can create your Now site. You can create a Now site with an autoresponder that every time you input a realtor's name, it sends them the email automatically, and they become part of your database, which I'm going to talk about in just 1 second. It does it for you. Pretty cool. Last call for ideas that you guys are leveraging. Anybody? All right. Well, like I said, I really want you to be very successful, but we're going to have to do a lot more than this, because the best thing to do is not what can I do, but what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. Like I told you, I'm reaching out to realtors. I'm zooming in. I chose the greater LA area. This Monday, I'm sorry, when I'm getting ready to go to Guadalajara, the companies that I work with are going to hit the Sacramento area. They're going to saturate Sacramento. They're going to fill up my calendar with appointments. So by the time I come back, I can knock those out. Also, after that, we're going to San Diego. Now, I don't have to physically go there, but I'm just saying it's all automated. It's all automated. You can do the same thing for business, for clients, and so on when you understand it. Host virtual events. For a while, virtual was kind of like a dirty word when it wasn't cool. Realtors want to go to live events, get that free food, right? I mean, that's what realtors really are used to. Not anymore. Before, virtual events were impersonal. They're not cool. Now they're in. Nobody wants to see you in person, which is cool because you can do more from home. I can't tell you how productive I am now that everybody else has bought into this mindset. I've been trying to get this virtual mindset in people for the longest, but you can do that. Lunch and learn sessions. Just some of the ones that I used to do. I haven't done a lot of them. And here's the beauty. Once you get yourself going, you won't have to do this stuff. This is not a way of life, but whenever I needed business, I just called a broker randomly, look for a big office. That's what I always look for. I never told them that I was a realtor as well. I simply say, "Hi, my name is Javier Rodriguez, and what I'd like to do is during your next sales meeting, I would like to come in and do a literally 45-minute class on how to generate more listings and buyers from the veterans market, how to leverage the power of VA, and so on." Cool. I would do the same thing to show your realtors how reverse mortgages can help them actually generate listings and purchases with the reverse mortgage. Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of people, as they're getting older, they're selling their home where they want to go ahead and cash out. But at the same time, they're buying maybe a one-story home versus the old two-story home. And when they buy the new home, they're buying it with what? A reverse mortgage. They're putting down a big down payment and they're never having a mortgage payment again. And what did that create for your realtors? A listing for the original property and a purchase for the one that they purchased as well. I never heard of that. Well, that's what I'm going to come in with your permission and do. Now, we do those virtually now. A lot of the stuff I don't invite you guys to because you don't need to see it. Well, what are you going to see it for? I'm telling you right now, that's all there is to do. And so therefore, you just simply can do this. Educational webinars, lunch and learn sessions, and all this other kind of stuff that you can do nowadays that, again, is being simplified by technology. Have any of you as realtors attended any virtual meetings? Not that you hosted, but I'm just saying, have you attended anything virtually as realtors? What was it?
Yes.
What was it? What was it? If you don't mind me asking, what kind of event was it as realtors?
Oh, I've attended the car
Okay.
webinar and the our board webinars.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So people are already conditioned to do that. Somebody's asking me, nowsite.us. Yeah, the board. I mean, absolutely, all the stuff is being held. We've been to it, but why not hold it ourselves? Now, like I said, the companies that I use, you pay them, and they send an invitation to realtors on your behalf. That's pretty cool. What was it, Stephen? We purchased the realtor list amongst ourselves. Well, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago, we did a whole realtor list for all of California and sent out an email blast to all them.
And how many was there on that list? Remember?
Like 500,000, maybe.
I mean, I cannot tell you how much business I've had on all fronts from emailing realtors myself. I just opened up a GoDaddy account. Now, GoDaddy got too expensive, so I'm not using it anymore. But the email list that has 500,000 realtors all throughout California, you can do it yourself. If you're not savvy enough, or because you don't want to get savvy enough, that's fine. Pay a company to send out the emails on your behalf. They'll do it for you. I will tell you this. One of the biggest challenges for realtors is the same challenge for loan officers, is the same challenge for life insurance agents and all these other, what we refer to as independent contractors. And here it is. They bring their employee mindset to their business and they kill it. Why? Because, well, I'm not going to pay GoDaddy $200 a month to send emails. I'm not going to pay for this. I don't have to pay. Well, not if you want to, it's what you have to do in order to succeed. But if you have a really hard time in investing in your business, then you're in the wrong place. And so that's just the reality, if you would, of that. I mean, that's just the reality of it as well. And so anyways, I'll go ahead and let me just go ahead and continue here. So hosting virtual events is a great way to do that.
Javier,
Go ahead.
I just want to share with virtual events, I found it very profitable because I do virtual events. I got different presentations. So whenever I have a prospect that wants to do a loan, I always do the virtual event if they're first-time home buyers or whatever, and I usually end up getting both sides because the virtual event really works really well. So I just wanted to
Perfect.
Thank
you.
To co-sign that for you.
Thank you. No, and that's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm really looking for, because we want to make sure that people understand that what we're talking about works. And so that's why I'm saying that the best thing anybody can share with us is what they're actually doing. And so thank you very much for that, Michael. I hope everybody else picks up on it and understands that if you're not with it, get with it. I might ask Michael, what are the subjects of your slides? He might say, first-time homeowner. And then the second mistake people make all the time, oh, do me a favor, send me your PowerPoint. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Get in the habit of creating your own stuff. Most people don't create it because they've never done it. If you've never done it, well, start. Very simple.
Yeah, I have 3 of them. I have first-time home buyers, 2 to 4 units. Actually, I have 4. I have commercial, and then I was forced to do a reverse mortgage last week with one of my joint venture partners, which came out pretty well, about 15 people on reverse mortgage. So virtual events work for me. Just
Perfect.
Let you know.
And I'm telling you right now, it's the wave of the future. Wave of the future. One of the things that EXP was doing, they just had that convention. Anybody know the valuation of EXP right now? Anybody? They added the value or valuation for all the other real estate companies out there that are out there, the Remaxes, the Keller Williams, whatever. They added them up and combined, they didn't even hit the value of EXP. of the, you know why? Why is that?
Probably because they're virtual, actually.
First of all, because, and the best way to summarize it, because the EXP is the future and all the other ones really represent the past, Doesn't make them a better company or better people, but it is a better model. $4 billion. And they're virtual. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Number 5, use social media to maximize potential. And this applies to you as a realtor, loan officer, but most importantly with you and other loan officers. I don't know what it is that realtors cannot keep their mouth shut when loan officers are also realtors. Don't tell them that you're also a realtor. You have no clue how many times I've seen that. Hi, my name is Javier Rodriguez with Ready Mortgage Bank. And by the way, I'm also a licensed real estate agent. Bam, you just lost the whole audience right there because they see you as a threat. I mean, you just really stepped in it right there. And so just keep your mouth shut. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're a realtor. Trust me. And so therefore, it's especially other realtors. And so when you do this, start and end with you as an MLO. That's why it's so important. And so anyways, here, Stephen said it best. We gave you the post, the templates. Man, most realtors don't have those templates. Most realtors have never used Canva. And again, that's the future. Everything else is in the past. They will appreciate the fact that you know a little bit more about them. Even if you don't, they feel like you do. And that's where your stock goes up as well. So use social media to maximize it. I was going to show you guys a loan officer, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to show her name. And I was going to show you how not to do it. And in this particular loan officer, my good God, if I was the bank, the employing broker, I would fire her or make her take down the fact that she works for this company. She is so polarizing as it relates to her political, vax, anti-vax, Trump, this, anti-Trump. I'm telling you, doesn't matter who you are, what you like, your goal in social media is to grow your audience, not shrink it and divide it. And I'll do it next time, but I mean, it's unbelievable. So stick to meaningful comments on posts, provide helpful feedback, asking you questions, share content, and all this other stuff as well. My recommendation is leverage yourself and identify yourself, depending on what you want to do. Get yourself a mortgage loan originator or MLO business page. Don't shove it all into one, because if somebody comes across, especially another realtor, comes across you as an MLO and they search you up on Facebook and they see you were Century 21 or EXP or whatever, they're going to know you're a realtor and they're just simply not going to want to work with you as well. So again, use all social media to advertise. If you want to run with the big boys, you're going to have to learn how to use ads, paid ads, $5 a day, $3 a day, the stuff that will dramatically, remember, Facebook is there to make money. It's not there to make you money unless you give them money first. Once you make money, then yeah, they can definitely help you make a lot of money, but you're going to have to pay up. Now, start a blog offering free resources. A perfect example of the way to do that is through your Now site. Every Now site page, website that you create, you can click one button and it will create a blog for you. So like I said earlier, you can have one page for first-time home buyers. You have one page for VA, one for reverse mortgages and so on. You can do all that. And it comes with a blog. You can have one just for realtors, where you're the MLO, they're the realtors, and offer them materials, and of course, offer your own stuff as well. Here's a great one from Berkshire Hathaway. This is what you can do with yours, your own. You as an MLO, fully compliant, of course, or as a realtor, fully compliant as it is. And it's just a first-time buyer's guide. And it shows you the steps to buying a home, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then, of course, when you get to step number 2, if you can, I'll zoom in on it, who will represent you? You can search homes online all day long, which is very savvy, by the way, because that's what people are doing. But you'll need a real estate professional to schedule showings, offer expertise, negotiate on your behalf, manage paperwork. And so again, whether it be you, the realtor, or you, the loan officer, this is exactly. Google it up, guys. Anything you see here, just go ahead and the video is going to be the video is going to be on our website, of course, on YouTube. And this is what it's called. Now, here's what I will tell you. All you need to do is do this and create your own. Super easy. Rarely will you hear me say things like easy. Let me tell you, this is easy. And the best part here, you can tie this directly to your actual Now site, because what you can do, I'll give you an example. Let me back up here just a little bit. When somebody goes to your Now site, you can collect leads. And the way you do that, like for instance, I did one this morning. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull it up so you can see it. I'm going to train on this next week. Most of the stuff that I train on, I don't create. I don't have time for that crap. I just simply go ahead and snag it. And so here, let me see this. Okay, let me just share this. Let me open it up and I'll show it to you what it looks like. This is a lead collecting landing page, which all of you here have, that have Now site at least. And this is what it looks like. Not mine, like I said. Let me pull it up. Oh, here it is. All right, so I know you can't see it yet. Hold on, please. Just bear with me. Okay, so what you see now, or what you should be seeing, is what I'm referring to. How simple is this website of this page? It just simply says, enlightened goal setting, approved strategy for getting everything we want. Now, when I see these things, by the way, I see it through different eyes. I see it through Now site. Oh, that's the headline at the top. And right below it in blue, what is that called? That's the heading at the top, right? You know how the Now site, for those of you that are on it.
So subheading or subtitle.
That's the subheading. And right below that is what? This is what? What do we call that? What do we call it? All my Now site people. Anybody, come on.
That's where your video can go, or your
What is it called? We're talking Now site talk now. That's the large image.
That's the body.
No, the large box. The large box.
Large image.
Large image.
That's the large image. And then down here is what?
Call to action.
It is, yeah, but what is it?
Form.
Yes, the customer form. The customer form, remember that? And so what I'm saying is that's how I see things. So all I do is like, well, hell, let me fire up my Now. Let me just go and follow, what do you call it? Fire up my Now site. Go to my, headline, heading, subheading, image, and a form. And so what you do here, you can have as many of these as you want, but start with one on the home ownership guide that I was telling you about. Start with that one. You can do that where it's going to be the home ownership guide. And again, if you wanted to really get an idea of what to do, well, like I said, here's an excellent one that somebody paid some smart designer to do. I'm just going to go copy it, I'm not going to snag it a copy. I'm saying I'm put a copy of a family, a couple with keys. And how do you do that? Well, I'm not going to say I'm designing it for you, but I'm going to go in here under images, couple with house keys. I'm going to hit search. Then I'm going to click on images here at the top, images. And there you go. There you go. I like this one. So I'm going to copy this and I'll paste it. Now, what would be the ultimate place to create this, by the way? Anybody?
Canva.
Yes, thank you. Damn, somebody's paying attention. Thank you. Now, for those that are chatting, just so you know, you can unmute yourself. That'd be a lot faster than that. But thank you. Somebody said it. And so when you go to Canva, you could literally come in here and look at a million different presentations. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, you don't have to look for a home ownership guide. We're not looking for that. We're looking for any guide. Now, the beauty is that there are templates here, as you can see here. Oh, shit. Let's see. Oh, here. You can see here, whether there be flyers. So I'm just going to use that one. And let me just do this. I don't think it clicked it. Hold on. Oh, there you go. What the hell is it? And so what I'm saying is that you can literally just come in here, just go flyers. If you wanted to do it, you can go by size. This is what's called the portrait one. Now, these are the ones you're going to pay. We don't have to pay for them. I have a membership. We don't. This is for you to actually create flyers for them to print out for you. You don't have to do that, of course. But like here, I just literally flyer, portrait, flyers. Let me just say flyers. It's automatically that. And so what I'm saying is you can come in here, go to flyers, and the beauty is I can come in here, and if this is, again, look at who are you going after? Who are you looking for? This one. That's what I want. I'm just going to copy the image, go back over here. There it is. There. And so what I'm saying is that I can literally go here versus text. I could, this one might be too big, but you can always there. If I want to do that, I mean, you see where I'm getting at. If I wanted to come in here, and again, don't do this. Once you do it, run it through Ret, but I'm just showing you how simple. There. I mean, it's starting to look pretty cool. I like all those sixes. So, and literally. And again, I'm just rushing through this. I just wanted to prove a point as to how something to the effect of that. I mean, you see what I'm getting at? That. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. This is pretty cool. And if I wanted to make it a second page, you would just add a page and make the second page. But look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It's pretty cool. And so you can offer people that. I mean, now you understand you can do this for, like I was telling you in the beginning, multiple niches where you go out there and do this for everything as well. And so anyway, let me get back to the webinar so I can hand it over to Brett. But I just wanted to show you how simple. And again, it's never easy because easy refers to getting over ourselves and through ourselves. It's hard. We just have to stop doing what we're doing, which is waste time, and do something more productive. So anyway, that. And number 7, which is the last thing I'm going to share with you, you got to have a quality database. You have to have a database where all your stuff is going to. Somebody's typing real loud. Hold on. There you go. All right. And so, like I said, when you come in here, this is so important because this is where all your leads go to. My recommendation for those that have Nowsite, or you can do it with any other CRM, with Nowsite, is create a different list for the people, whether it be based on their profession, whether it be based on homeowners for the first time, whether it be potential refis and so on, that I can revisit at a later time. What I'm going to do now at this point, any questions for me before I'm done on my part? Anybody? Questions, comments, concerns?
It's a little easier to manipulate stuff on Canva and import it into Nowsite with some of those things. You know, we were talking about the image sizing before.
Yes.
So Canva seems a little easier to manipulate some of that stuff and then bring it into Nowsite.
Yes, it is. It's very true. Otherwise, you have to go to the actual editor or something like that and resize it. Just that's what I'm telling you. Canva is the way to go. If you end up using Canva a lot, my recommendation is to upgrade from free, because it is free, by the way. But you can upgrade. The one that I have is a whopping $2.95 a month. You know, and it makes my life a whole easier and more profitable when you have a tool like that. Questions, comments, concerns before we hand it over to Rhett? If not,
hey Javier,
go ahead.
Can I get the new deal on Nowsite?
I don't know. I tried to get it for myself. They wouldn't let me get it. So try it. Let me know if you are.
Okay. Thanks.
I tried. It wouldn't let me. But all right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Rhett. It's all yours, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Javier. Good morning, everybody. Couple of quick updates. if you're paying attention, interest rates trended up a tiny bit this week. We're doing low threes right now on conventional. We're still in the low twos, low to mid twos on government loans. Not really a big difference this week, but every little tick seems to affect the market. Overall industry this week, loan applications were down. Our company-wide, we were pretty flat last week. We didn't lose any, we didn't gain any, as far as in comparison to the week before. For those of you who are with our company, Radiant Mortgage Bank, we've got some changes coming here in the very near future. And when I say very near future, this is as of September 1st, it looks like. A few things are happening. One is it looks like we're going to be up and fully running in Nevada, specifically Vegas, as of September 1st. That's the target date right now anyway. So we're excited about that. Hello, Elvira. She's the one with the Vegas Strip as her picture. She is going to be our lead person out there in Las Vegas, has a lot of experience. So we're excited about working with her. The other big thing that's changing is we will no longer be Radiant Mortgage Bank. As I've been talking about over the past several months, we are now direct Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac servicer, seller servicers. It's a pretty big deal. And because of what we're doing and because of the next step, which is to become a Ginnie Mae seller servicer, which we're close to, we've had to change our licensing. Now, we've been talking about this for a while. We are no longer going to be taking MLO endorsed loan officers. They have to have their DFPI NMLS. It cannot be tied to their DRE because we are getting rid of our DRE license altogether because we have to, because of the seller servicer requirements, that the type of license that we will now have as a mortgage bank means that we have to get rid of the DRE altogether. It also means that in most states, not all states, California is not one of these states, but in most states, you are not allowed to have the word bank in your name or in any of your DBA's name. And since we are a DBA of HMAC, we're going to have to change our name. We were either going to go to Radiant Mortgage or some other name, but we were going to have to drop the bank out of our name. The other thing it does is now we have to, if we want to do a loan, let's say in Georgia or Florida or wherever the case may be, we have to have we have to have the company, HMAC has to be approved there, which we're approved in almost every state. But then the branch has to file a DBA. So we were going to have to file, once we changed our name, we were going to have to file a new DBA. It was going to have to get licensed. Then the branch manager was going to have to get licensed, and then whoever the loan officer is. And it was just creating all kinds of headaches. So we've been in negotiations with corporate over the last 3 weeks or so, maybe a month. Finally got everything done with the attorneys. What we are doing is we are dropping Radiant Mortgage Bank. We are becoming an internal branch for HMAC. The great news about that is we will just be called HMAC now, Home Mortgage Alliance Corp. And we will not have to worry about getting the DBA or the branch manager licensing in any of the states. So we can literally bring loan officers, and I know Javier and I have been talking about a lot about this because when he cranked up the marketing again, we had to keep it pretty much internal for California because we knew some changes were coming. We just didn't know exactly what they were. So now we know what they are. We're all set for it. And that too, our launch date for that is going to be September 1st. Now, before you freak out, You don't have to worry about any of the documents you have right now. You don't have to worry about any of the files you have in process. Everything proceeds with anything in process. Everything will proceed as if nothing has changed. It'll just be any new marketing that happens after September 1st will be under HMAC Direct, not Radiant Mortgage Bank. This is a exciting move for us. It's actually going to be, we're going to be taking on some more responsibilities as far as mentoring some other branches. And we've already started talking to people about coming in as doing some mini branch stuff. So we're excited about all that. I think it's going to be a really good move for us. It'll help us. It'll help the company in general, and it will help all of you because it'll be a lot easier to get licensed in other states. So if you have a transaction in another state and you think you're going to want to start marketing someplace else, or you want to start doing more business in other states, this is going to make things a lot easier. So we're excited about that. We will have possibly next week, trying to get some marketing stuff. We'll have the new logos. We'll have some stuff. We'll get that all over to our printer, Ruben. So if you have Radiant Bank cards and if you're just doing business in California, you can still give them out. There's not going to be an issue there. It's just any online print type stuff or website cannot say anything about bank. So your business cards, what we're going to do is I mentioned about 2 or 3 weeks ago that Javier and I had talked about doing a new digital business card. The only thing I've been waiting on, the reason I didn't introduce that, I was going to introduce that the following week, and that's when we found out that things were going to be changing. So I'm in the process of working with Hi Hello in getting the new logos and everything set up. So everybody will get, if you're part of us, you're going to get a new a digital business card. It works really well. It is everything that Javier talked about before and what you want to do. It's got the QR code that I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Nope. You see right there, big thing on my home screen. That's a QR code that you can literally, somebody turns on their camera, points it to your camera, it pops up your business card. You can send it, you can email it. It gives you an email signature. It gives you everything that you need, and you can post. I mean, and you can insert literally every social media known to man will go into this. It's got a space for it. So it does all kinds of things that we're excited about. So you'll get that. Personally, I don't do business cards. It's one of my marketing techniques that I haven't given out a business card in a very long time. But I do. It doesn't mean I don't get contacts. I just don't use business cards the way most people use them. Going back to something that Javier was talking about. Most of you know, we've talked about this, and I know Javier mentions it. I don't do any marketing. Quite frankly, I don't have time to do marketing, but I still do a lot of business. I'm still always number 1 or number 2 loan officer in our company. And the reason I can do that is because of what I've done over the last 20 years. I have every deal that I work on, whether I fund it or not, every deal that I work on, I'm always thinking about the next deal. I'm never thinking about just this loan. I'm never thinking about just this real estate transaction. I'm always thinking about what I have to do to implant myself into my customer's psyche to an extent that if anybody ever asks them about their loan or about their home or about anything to do about real estate or mortgages, the first person they're going to think about is me. And that leads to a lot of return business. And I've just become a master at referrals. I know how to get referrals. The first thing that most people don't even, the reason most people don't get referrals is they don't ask. Second reason is they ask for referrals in the wrong way. When, you know, if I ask you right now, and don't answer this, but if I ask you right now, how many of you ask for referrals? A lot of you are probably going to raise your hand. And when I say, how do you ask for referrals? A lot of you are going to say, well, when I'm done with the transaction, I give a stack of my business cards to the borrower, and I ask them to make sure that if they have anybody that can that needs my help, to please give them my business card. Well, that is the wrong way to get referrals. That is not asking for referrals. That's asking somebody to be your marketer and give out your business card. Asking for referrals is literally asking for referrals. And if you set it up the right way, and it's a whole nother class that maybe we'll set up with Javier one day. But if you set it up the right way from the initial meeting with your borrowers, if you make sure they understand, one of the questions that I always ask is, okay, so let me ask you, Stephen, if I am able to get you into this home, and along the way, I'm explaining how everything works, I make sure you understand everything about the real estate side, everything about the loan side. And when I finally give you your keys, you're totally happy and you're excited and you felt like I've done a great job. Is there any reason why you wouldn't refer me to all of your friends? Now, if you think about what I just said, I didn't say, would you refer me to your friends? I said, is there any reason why you wouldn't refer me to all of your friends? If Steve says anything other than, of course, I'll refer you to all my friends. If he says, well, no, I don't really believe in referrals. And I've had people say that before. And here's where I may be different than you, is I told them I couldn't do business with him. I said, you know, I'm sorry, if you don't trust me enough to refer me after what I've just said. Now, if you don't like my service, don't refer me. But if after I've done everything that I've said I'm going to do, you couldn't refer me, I can't do business with you. I just don't do business that way. And in every case, they've changed their mind. Okay. But if you set it up that way, and then every time that person calls you and says, you know, I have a question, or could you explain this? Or every time you make contact, because obviously over the course of the transaction, you're going to be making several contacts with your borrowers, with your buyers. If at the end of the conversation, you always ask, is there anything else I can help you with? Did I explain that to your satisfaction? Please make sure you contact me, because remember what we talked about in the beginning. When we get all done, I want you to be the happiest you've ever been with any salesperson or any advisor you've ever come in contact with, because you remember what I'm going to ask you for. I'm going to ask you to refer me to all your friends, and I'm going to remind them about that and get the new commitment from them. Okay. And at some point in time, when it's getting really close, I even look at them in the eye and I say, you know, Stephen, I know you're a man of your word, and I'm a man of my word. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure this transaction, we finish it up, we get you in here, and you're totally excited, because remember. And he says, oh yeah, Red, I know. I'm going to refer you. Now he has no idea what that all means, but at the end of the transaction, he's going to find out, because when I deliver the keys, or in like right now, I'm going to set up I may not physically deliver the keys, but I'm going to set up a meeting with him, and I'm going to tell him, I said, you know, I'd like to schedule a few minutes with you, because we need to talk about that referral thing we discussed. And I'm actually going to go through a list. I'm going to start asking him. I'm going to do a memory jogger. I'm going to start asking him for names. Now you may think this is kind of crazy, but I will tell you, the most referrals I've ever got from one person is 272. So it works. And because of all that, or that's one of the reasons anyway, I don't have to market now. I am always getting referrals. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is we were talking about how else can you market yourself to get more business. And the other thing that I do that's maybe a little bit different than most other LOs is I have developed some really good relationships with several realtors, and I pre-approve all their buyers. Now you say, yeah, everybody does that. Not like I do. And here's how you can be different. When you're, I'd like to, Javier, maybe we'll create a little flyer or a brochure for this. But one of the things that makes our approvals different than most other people's. Now, you have pre-qualification and you have pre-approval. A pre-qualification is what Bank of America does. Absolutely worthless. Nobody's really reviewed anything. You've got a loan officer who's not that much of a loan officer. That's their front end customer service rep that takes the information and issues a pre-qualification. Every realtor out there, if you're a realtor right now and you're a listing agent, you know a B of A pre-qualification is absolutely worthless. It doesn't help you at all. Most listing agents now have figured out that they don't even want pre-approvals even. They want cross-qualification. And the reason is because even a lot of pre-approvals are just done by loan officers. What makes us different, and what you can tell the realtors out there, when we get back to doing open houses, this will be a lot easier for you. But when you could visit an open house, you could give a little brochure, a little flyer that talks about how our pre-approval process is different. Why is it different? Because our pre-approvals are reviewed by an actual underwriter. That's what makes our pre-approvals different. Now you say, but wait, you're reviewing a lot of these. Yeah, well, what most of you don't know is I am an underwriter. I don't act as an underwriter. I've had my DE certification for 19 years, maybe 20 years, long time. And I've underwritten Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA. I don't do that now as here. That's Rosa's job, but I am an underwriter. So you can honestly say that you have that all of our pre-approvals are reviewed by an underwriter, because either I'm reviewing it or Rosa's reviewing it. So it's true. And when we issue a pre-approval, unless something comes up, I can't remember the last time we issued a pre-approval on a buyer and we didn't close the deal. Now, there are times that people don't tell us things, that we find out things or something else changes, that materially changes the package that could keep us from funding a deal. But for the most part, Michael's asking what's a DE cert? Delegated endorsement. FHA actually certifies the underwriter with what's called a delegated endorsement. If you're a DE underwriter, you are approved by FHA to underwrite FHA loans. So, and I still have my DE certification. So, in fact, I just went to a recertification just before COVID. I think the October prior to the March COVID thing. So about a year, a little over, almost 2 years ago. And every couple of years, actually, Rose and I use it as a little vacation because it's usually up in Oregon and where I grew up. And we just get on a plane and go up for 4 or 5 days and do the FHA recertification and make it into a little vacation. But so the point is, this is something that I use myself. I have several realtors that I do all their pre-approvals for their buyers, but I also do all their cross qualifications. So that's something else that you can offer is if you're the agent, and I know we're going long, I apologize, but if your realtor is also a listing agent, not just a buyer's agent, but they're also a listing agent, you can offer to cross qualify all of their potential buyers, the offers that come in. You can offer to do a cross qualification. Now, understand that in the past, that loan officers used to use cross qualifications to try and get business. You're not going to get business from that. Most realtors, most buyers are smart enough to know they're not going to give you the contact information for the buyer when they send you the pre-qualification or the cross-qualification package. But the other thing is you can offer is to your buyer's agents is that they know that almost all listing agents now are requiring cross-call packages. Well, if we've pre-approved the buyer, all you have to do is call me or text me or email me and say, hey, I've got an offer. One of my realtors has an offer in. We need to do a cross-call package on Mr. Jones. I handle all of that for you. You don't have to deal with that. That's something that we do here internally. It's either Rosa or I, and we actually then deal directly with the buyer's agent and or the lender for the. I'm sorry, we deal directly with the buyer's agent on the cross-call package, but also if the seller for your buyer's agent's buyer is requesting the cross-call package, we deal directly with the seller's lender. All you got to do is send me the seller's lender, preferred lender contact information. I'll deal directly with them, and typically we can get that knocked out. And your offer past that stage within a couple of hours. We've got that down pretty good. So that's all I got, Javier. Sorry for taking long.
Oh, good. Appreciate that. It's always somebody's got to go. They got to go, and nobody left. So that was good information. The last thing I just want to share with everybody is this: I cannot tell you how many hundreds of, and I do mean hundreds of these things I have actually given away to my clients. This is not just clients. I mean, also a lot of my strategic realtors that I work with and so on. And here's, let me just show it. Simple but powerful. Every time I close a file, what I do, because I always tell them that, it's the key to home ownership. And so what I always do is take all those digital files, that's basically everything. Everything's in PDF now. Docs are emailed to us, for God's sakes. Dump them on this jump drive and give it to them. This is not my closing give. This is just part of just SOP, standard operating procedure. And you have no clue how much they appreciate it. The second thing I do is with teachers. When we go talk to teachers in schools, we always say that, listen, there's two types of teachers in this room right now, those that own a home and those that need to own a home. So if you already own a home, what I would like to do is help you ensure that you do have the lowest rate possible, which of course gives you the lowest payment possible. And if we can save you maybe 100, 200 or more on a monthly basis off your mortgage payment, you can take that money and put it towards something that's more productive for you and your family, such as a college fund for your child, retirement for you. Anything is better than giving that money away to the bank unnecessarily. Now, if you don't own a home, I get it. Homes are expensive. You have to come up with a down payment. You have to come up with closing costs, where it can be a little confusing, overwhelming. I get it. But we have a program just for teachers and their family that if we represent you on both the real estate side and on the mortgage side, which will simplify your life, by the way, we will go ahead and pay for all of your closing costs. So whether you're thinking about buying a home, selling a home, or maybe even refinancing, I have a gift for you today, which is this golden key right here. So if you just fill out the card in front of you, just put your name, phone number, and circle which one applies to you, buy, sell, or refinance. It's just a small token of my appreciation for your time here today. And man, people put their heads down and start filling out the form because people like free crap. That's just the way it is. And so again, you could do this with churches. You can do this anywhere. I can't tell you how many of these I've purchased and how many I've given away. The same thing with realtors. I give them a copy of this key to them and so on and so on. It's just another marketing idea that you can leverage as well. Questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up. I know we almost never go over an hour, but we did today, but I think hopefully it was worth it. I think it was, because most people stayed here, but sometimes we do what has to be done to get you the information to elevate your success and income as well. Last call for questions. Anybody, comments or concerns whatsoever? Once?
This is
Go ahead.
Hi, Red. Good morning, Red. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, everybody. This is Elvira from Las Vegas. As you can see, I put my picture up there because I'm so excited. And I've been out here in Las Vegas for 22 years. So I'm very excited to open up Las Vegas or Nevada. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Red, for making it possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for being with us. Really appreciate that as well. It means the world to us as well. Anybody else? Comments, questions, concerns before I wrap it up?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute, but Elvira, you're very welcome. We're excited about launching in Nevada. I cannot tell you over the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years, that it seems like every other month somebody's saying, can we do a loan in Las Vegas? Can we do a loan in Nevada? And even though the company's been licensed, there's a lot of extra hoops that we had to jump through to get Nevada open. But we are so excited about being very close to doing that. And I think Elvira is going to be a great addition to the team. I want to thank Michael Johnson for bringing her into our fold and introducing her to us and making this all possible. So, together, this is going to be, I think, a great venture for us. So we're looking forward to it. And Elvira, I've got a couple trips. I'm actually planning. I may actually be out there in about 10 days. I don't know if I'll have a chance to get with you, but I'm coming out again the first week of October and the first week of November. I'm actually planning on going to the World Series of Poker main event in November. I'm looking forward to being out there, and one of those trips, I'm hoping that we can get together and have lunch and just sit and talk for a few minutes. So
yeah, that would be wonderful, because where I live, there we literally have construction going on all around me. So I can't wait, because I want to go to these construction sites to start giving out flyers, something, business cards, something. I'm just so hungry right now. I really want to go out and promote our company.
Well, that's what we like to hear. We're always looking for people who are hungry, because as Javier says, I mean, we'll do everything we can to train you, to support you, to do everything. We're just not going to give us our money, give you our money. But if you're hungry, you can go out, and this is the best business, I think, to make money in right now. I think it's just, there's just a lot of low hanging fruit out there that if you are applying yourself, I think that we can really make a lot of money for ourselves and our family, and over the course of the next, I think we've got really good business for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
welcome.
Everybody.
All right, guys. Well, no one has anything else. I just want to say thank you for all that you do, and challenge you to make this coming week the most productive week you've had in the field of marketing. And understand that this is an engagement type of business, a contact sport. You have to go out there and engage. And remember, like she mentioned, right now, homes are being sold everywhere. Once they sell it, that requires a mortgage. But guess what? About 6-7 months later, they can go ahead and refi, lower the rate if they qualify, and do it all over again. Not to mention past clients. And there's just an endless amount of business out there. It's just a matter of us going out there and capturing it for ourselves. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Bye-bye.